Don't bite off more than you can chew, because nobody looks attractive spitting it back out.
All human beings should try to learn before they die what they are running from, and to, and why. Emotion often outwits intelligence, while intuition renders life surprisingly fluent and enjoyable. People can change anything they want to, and that means everything in the world. Little risks brings little success. Great risks brings forth great success. Anybody can make the simple complicated. Creativity is making the complicated simple.
When you are ignorant of the enemy, but know yourself, your chances of winning or losing are equal. I speak gibberish to the civilized world, and it replies in kind.
If a man is to live, he must be all alive, body, soul, mind, heart, spirit.
Heard melodies are sweet, but those unheard are sweeter.
I believe that just because something didn't go the way you planned it once, it's no reason not to try again.
With regard to narrow passes, if you can occupy them first, let them be strongly garrisoned and await the advent of the enemy. How quick come the reasons for approving what we like.
It is not the mountain we conquer, but ourselves. It is not as much about who you used to be, as it is about who you choose to be.
It can only take a moment to waste the rest of your life.
Life is a journey that necessitates progress. Keep moving, because each step brings you closer to your goals. If you wake up tired, you've been chasing dreams. If you go to bed tired, you're making your dreams happen. Whoever cannot seek the unforeseen sees nothing, for the known way is an impasse. There are no bad words, bad thoughts, bad intentions, and words. If you don't want anyone to know about your existence, you might as well kill yourself. You're taking up space, air.
There is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs.
Your world of poverty can be recreated to that of affluence, simply by speaking the prince's language. No matter how smart we may think we are, no matter how committed we are to our truth, we can lose our way. The place where you made your stand never mattered, only that you were there and still on your feet.
If you can feel the future, then you are about to experience it. Knowledge is merely brilliance in organization of ideas, and not wisdom. The truly wise person goes beyond knowledge. Être dans le vent, c'est avoir le destin des feuilles mortes. We seek the fire of the spark that is already within us.
When we cannot find the good things that we're looking for, let the good things that are looking for us find us.
I don't think you should wait. I think you should speak now.
The day we put an end to believing in hope will be the day we stop existing, for without hope, we are nothing. To see me does not necessarily mean to see my face. To understand my thoughts is to have seen me. We are here to be family to one another, to exist for the sake of others, even as others exist for our sake. Become a ghost, forget attention, just grow in private. When life places stones in your path, be the water. A persistent drop of water will wear away even the hardest stone. Don't be scared to live your life without judgment.
He who knows he is a fool is not the biggest fool. He who knows he is confused is not in the worst confusion.
Every existing thing is born without reason, prolongs itself out of weakness, and dies by chance. The boy and his heart had become friends, and neither was capable now of betraying the other. Our ancestors have invented, we can at least innovate.
Your life is a reflection of your thoughts. Think well.
The most believable lies are the ones that are at least a little bit true. At first, they'll only dislike what you say, but the more correct you start sounding, the more they'll dislike you. No matter how long you train someone to be brave, you never know if they are or not until something real happens.
As long as you can use your hands, the world is your oyster. The reason why the universe is eternal is that it does not live for itself. It gives life to others as it transforms.
All that happens means something. Nothing you do is ever insignificant.
Don't get so busy making a living that you forget to make a life. There is no greater agony than bearing an untold story inside you.
The successful person has unusual skill at dealing with conflict and ensuring the best outcome for all. We suffer more in imagination than in reality.
Science is organized knowledge. Wisdom is organized life.
Errors do not cease to be errors simply because they're ratified into law. Those who count things are not worthy of assisting the people. I just want to do something that matters, or be something that matters. I just want to matter.
When we are most alone is when we embrace another's loneliness.
The things hardest to bear are sweetest to remember. One must always be prepared for riotous and endless waves of transformation.
Our society is run by insane people for insane objectives.
I am certain of nothing but the holiness of the heart's affections and the truth of the imagination. Even though our time in this life is temporary, if we live well enough, our legacy will last. We are not leaving anyone behind. We have to stick together in order to stay safe. Being angry, resentful, or saddened by rejection can suck the sweetness out of acceptance.
Nothing isn't better or worse than anything. Nothing is just nothing.
When you come out of the storm, you won't be the same person who walked in. That's what this storm's all about. Time has always been the greatest ally to truth, because time eventually relieves and reveals all.
Better a broken promise than none at all.
You never know when the truth will come home. You can't choose the time chooses you. To free yourself from perceived bonds, you must test the strengths of those restraints and risk failure. Wisdom is being able to see the world for what it is, rather than what you want it to be. People at war with themselves will always cause collateral damage in the lives of those around them. Anger exceeding limits causes fear, and excessive kindness eliminates respect. Like a running blaze on a plain, like a flash of lightning in the clouds, we live in the flicker. Don't change your mind just because people are offended. Change your mind if you're wrong.
Only he who has no use for the empire is fit to be entrusted with it.
Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit.
The spirit tower has its guardian, but unless it understands who its guardian is, it cannot be guarded. Great results can be achieved with small forces. Staying in the past won't help you move on to your future.
Everyone kept telling me not to worry, someone will do something. No one did. I became someone and did something. We never know the quality of someone else's life, though we seldom resist the temptation to assume and pass judgment. If you can remember why you started, then you will know why you must continue.
Success usually comes to those who are too busy looking for it. We are willing to believe anything other than the truth.
And I remembered something else that makes us human. Faith, the only weapon in our arsenal to battle doubt. Loneliness and the feeling of being unwanted is the most terrible poverty. Knighthood lies above eternity. It doesn't live off fame, but rather deeds. Surround yourself with people who inspire you to become even better. A river cuts through rock, not because of its power, but because of its persistence.
Don't depend too much on anyone in this world, because even your own shadow leaves you when you are in darkness. Karma is given, not to those who ask, but to those who ask of nothing. Fix your mind on truth. Hold firm to virtue. Rely on loving kindness, and find your recreation in the arts. Be sure to place your feet in the right place, then stand firm.
Wisdom is the oneness of mind that guides and permeates all things. Life is like a beautiful melody, only the lyrics are messed up. You don't win races by wishing, you win them by running faster than everyone else does.
Where the willingness is great, the difficulties cannot be great. It's what's in yourself that makes you happy or unhappy.
What we like to think of ourselves and what we really are rarely have much in common. A gentleman is someone who does not what he wants to do, but what he should do. There was another life that I might have had, but I am having this one. Worrying about losing is losing before you begin.
Take the first step, no more, no less, and the next will be revealed.
Admit when you're wrong, shut up when you're right.
In the end, it will all work out okay. The end isn't final if we're not okay with it.
If you aren't willing to work for it, don't complain about not having it. Failure is not when you fail once, but when you refuse to learn from your mistakes. It's no use going back to yesterday because I was a different person then.
Don't let anyone ever make you feel like you don't deserve what you want.
Do not look for happiness outside yourself. The awakened seek happiness inside.
Pretend to be weak, so your enemy may grow arrogant.
Sometimes the hardest lessons are the ones that change us the most. There isn't an end point to excellence where you have it and you can stop. Being your best self means keeping on trying.
No other success can compensate for failure in the home.
The joy in life is his who has the heart to demand it.
Light in your mind is better than darkness in your soul.
There is beauty everywhere. Even in the dark there is light, and that is the rarest kind of all. Evolution is a revolution without R, and R is a renewal of the mind. Youth offers the promise of happiness, but life offers the realities of grief.
Do not look for healing at the feet of those who broke you. If you can't explain it to a 6-year-old, you don't understand it yourself. True, life is complex, but so are a great many accidents. Hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard.
The most important day in your life is the day when you come to realize who you really are.
A good traveler has no fixed plans and is not intent on arriving. Positive expectations are the mark of the superior personality.
Guard well your thoughts when alone and your words when accompanied. We know what we are, but know not what we may be. What consumes your mind controls your life. Courage is feeling fear, not getting rid of fear, and taking action in the face of fear. In between goals is a thing called life that has to be lived and enjoyed.
It is better to fail in originality than to succeed in imitation.
A thing worth having is a thing worth cheating for. People only lie because they are afraid of the truth. Some want to live within the sound of church or chapel bell. I want to run a rescue shop within a yard of hell. The deeds you do may be the only sermon some persons will hear today.
But truly, if I were not Alexander, I would be Diogenes.
In those moments, it's hard to remember that an angry voice is an invisible thing incapable of drawing blood. Dream no small dreams, for they have no power to move the hearts of men.
It was always the becoming he dreamed of, never the being.
What is considered impossible is someone else's opinion. What is possible is my decision.
The way of success is the way of continuous pursuit of knowledge.
The friends you make in college are friends you'll have for life, even if you don't talk for years at a time. Defeat is not the worst of failures. Not to have tried is the true failure. All the work you are doing in silence is opening doors. Trust your pace. My head'll explode if I continue with this escapism. You don't need a compass when you are yourself a map. It's against the rules of humanity to believe there is nothing we can do. Life isn't about waiting for the storm to pass. It's about learning to dance in the rain.
There is no doubt fiction makes a better job of the truth.
When you make the dream of your heart a treasure of heaven, it holds an eternal value.
Tongues in trees, books in running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything.
Go on with what your heart tells you, or you will lose all.
Success is a flower that doesn't grow in everyone's garden.
Life is a waste of time, and time is a waste of life. So let's all get wasted and have the time of our lives. Do what you can with what you have where you are.
If we don't change the direction we are headed, we will end up where we are going. Apparent confusion is a product of good order, apparent cowardice of courage, apparent weakness of strength.
The selfish man suffers more from his selfishness than he from whom that selfishness withholds some important benefit. Autobiography begins with a sense of being alone. It is an orphan form.
One may know how to conquer without being able to do it.
Each man should frame life so that at some future hour fact and his dreaming meet.
Crying can bring relief, as long as you don't cry alone.
Mankind is made of two kinds of people: wise people who know they're fools, and fools who think they are wise.
Learn from yesterday, live for today, hope for tomorrow. The important thing is not to stop questioning.
You must learn to let go. Release the stress. You were never in control anyway. We strive for harmony, but it is not always realized. As long as you gave everything you had, and you didn't let it break you, it could never be considered a failure. Well, I must endure the presence of a few caterpillars if I wish to become acquainted with the butterfly. Once you reject fear, you will become the perfect candidate to receive and reflect truth. That's the problem with life. You never get enough time to stare at your ceiling and try to figure out what's going on. The truth that makes men free is for the most part the truth which men prefer not to hear.
Weak leadership can wreck the soundest strategy.
Life is pain, Highness. Anyone who says differently is selling something. Disinformation is duping. Misinformation is tricking. Doubt kills more dreams than failure ever will. My world is about stories that entertain, emotions that move, people you'll remember, literature that matters.
When you walk in silence, your excellence will always speak for you.
Truth would quickly cease to be stranger than fiction once we got as used to it. If everyone helps to hold up the sky, then one person does not become tired. The goal shouldn't be to make the perfect decision every time, but to make less bad decisions than everyone else. There's no solution to life. There's going to be problems no matter what.
Even in the loneliest moments, I have been there for myself.
Everything that happens before death is what counts.
I've never seen anything as bright as the rays of kindness.
My past has not defined me, destroyed me, deterred me, or defeated me. It has only strengthened me.
The question is not what you look at, but what you see.
If everything was perfect, you would never learn and you would never grow. If you keep on making excuses to me, what you are doing is teaching me to always make excuses to you. Because I don't live in either my past or my future. I'm interested only in the present.
A clever person solves a problem. A wise person avoids it. Never say that I have taken it, only that I have given it back.
No one is going to figure out your life. It's your responsibility.
The only way you can know where the line is if you cross it. Victory comes from finding opportunities in problems. The most common form of despair is not being who you are. Reason may be employed to support faith as well as to destroy it.
My fake plants died because I did not pretend to water them. Do not lose yourself in the crowd. You are the only one you've got. Take care of your soul. We don't meet people face to face, but waste our time on social media's embrace. I only seem negative to the fortunate. That's because I show the less fortunate that they aren't less fortunate after all. To capture an enemy's army is better than to destroy it. Intellectual growth should commence at birth and cease only at death. Help others without any reason and give without the expectation of receiving anything in return. If you're going to burn a bridge behind you, make sure you've crossed it first. The strength of a nation derives from the integrity of the whole. He who knows does not speak. He who speaks does not know. There is nothing good in this world that does not have some filth in its origin. Nobody's going to win all the time. On the highway of life, you can't always be in the fast lane.
Your preciousness lies in your essence. It cannot be lost by anything that happens. The only thing that can grow is the thing you give energy to.
A celibate clergy is an especially good idea because it tends to suppress any hereditary propensity toward fanaticism.
Being defeated is often a temporary condition. Giving up is what makes it permanent.
Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts. The sky is the limit. For some people, aim higher. Nothing is impossible.
He who pursues fame at the risk of losing his self is not a scholar. The smallest light has greater power than the largest darkness.
To succeed, you must reach for the stars and let your imagination find its own path. You must have someone in your circle who you can bounce off your ideas without being dissuaded.
Nothing makes a person happier than having a happy heart.
Life doesn't always give us the choices we want. All we can do is make the best of things. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. Somebody once said, if it's something a single book can explain, it's not worth having explained. You cannot change your future. You can change your habits. And surely your habits will change your future. We're here, and then we're gone. And it's not about the time we're here, but what we do with the time.
Excuses are merely nails used to build a house of failure.
It is not that I'm so smart, but I stay with the questions much longer. I prefer you to make mistakes in kindness than work miracles in unkindness. Don't be afraid of the shadows. That only means there's a light nearby. Good works is giving to the poor and the helpless, but divine works is showing them their worth, the one who matters. The world is a tragedy to those who feel, but a comedy to those who think.
My fear was not of death itself, but a death without meaning.
As if you could kill time without injuring eternity. Aim for the moon. If you miss, you may hit a star. Respect and take care of the people. It's for the people. In return, you get respect from the people. Truth is naturally universal, and shines into many different windows, though many are clouded. If your opponent is of choleric temper, seek to irritate him. Pretend to be weak, that he may grow arrogant. All the darkness in the world cannot extinguish the light of a single candle. The truth has always been a more complex commodity than the market can easily package and sell.
The higher we soar, the smaller we appear to those who cannot fly.
Today is the oldest you've ever been, and the youngest you'll ever be again.
What is important is not what you hear said, it's what you observe.
Grateful people are happy people. The more things you are grateful for, the happier you will be. Yet we must say something when those who say the most are saying nothing.
Where you are in a few months depends on what you do today. Dream as if you will live forever. Live as if you will die today. Not all things that fall down break. Some develop wings.
The mind is everything, what you think you become. Common sense in an uncommon degree is what the world calls wisdom. I want to show the world how darkness can sometimes be so beautiful. It's time to start living the life you've imagined. Dreams don't work unless you take action. The surest way to make your dreams come true is to live them. Few among men are they who cross to the further shore. The others merely run up and down the bank on this side.
When you change your thoughts, remember to also change your world. It is not death that a man should fear, but he should fear never beginning to live.
I'm not afraid of dying, I'm afraid of not trying.
The man who thinks he can and the man who thinks he can't are both right. I should have based my judgment upon deeds and not words.
Don't go broke trying to impress broke people. Without balance, a life is no longer worth the effort. In the face of adversity, we have a choice. We can be bitter or we can be better. Those words are my North Star.
It does not matter how long you live, but how well you do it. You cannot open a book without learning something. An unexciting truth may be eclipsed by a thrilling falsehood.
The planet was being destroyed by manufacturing processes, and what was being manufactured was lousy, by and large.
A ship is always safe at shore, but that is not what it's built for. The most wasted of all days is one without laughter. If you follow the enemy's shifts and changes, you can always find a way to win.
Truth strikes us from behind and in the dark, as well as from before and in broad daylight. Difficulties increase the nearer we get to the goal.
If I have seen further than others, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants. Too many people are too busy making a living to make a life.
Actions defined a man. Words were a fart in the wind. Be a surfer. Watch the ocean. Figure out where the big waves are breaking and adjust accordingly.
The consequences of every act are included in the act itself. People throw stones at you, and you convert them into milestones.
A religion which cannot benefit a person before death cannot benefit him after death either. You will never be able to escape from your heart, so it's better to listen to what it has to say.
It's not whether you got knocked down, it's whether you get back up. Being born is like being kidnapped and then sold into slavery.
Emulate good behavior, that when you encounter people from your past, you won't have to hide yourself away.
What is to be, will be, and no prayers of ours can arrest the decree.
After you find out all the things that can go wrong, your life becomes less about living and more about waiting. Concern yourself not with what you tried and failed in, but with what is still possible to do.
It is man's natural sickness to believe that he possesses the truth.
All men have their frailty, and whoever looks for a friend without imperfections will never find what he seeks. The truth may be out there, but the lies are inside your head. The forceps of our minds are clumsy forceps and crush the truth a little in taking hold of it.
If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle.
We hunt the flame, the light in the darkness, the good this world deserves. A home filled with nothing but yourself. It's heavy, that lightness. It's crushing, that emptiness. Every time you spend money, you're casting a vote for the kind of world you want. If someone does not want me, it is not the end of the world. But if I do not want me, the world is nothing but endings.
It is error alone which needs the support of government. Truth can stand by itself. True goodness springs from a man's own heart. All men are born good. We can't avoid reasoning. We can only avoid doing it well.
When life takes away, something of greater value is always given in return. A man may die, nations may rise and fall, but an idea lives on. Ideas have endurance without death. Facts are like cows. If you look them in the face long enough, they generally run away.
Be bold. Don't be shy to say no to the future you don't like. All paths are present, always, and we can but choose among them. To think too long about doing a thing often becomes its undoing.
If you hear how wonderful you are, often enough, you begin to believe it, no matter how you try to resist it. Every decent con man knows the simplest truth, more powerful than even the most elaborate lie. The act of taking the first step is what separates the winners from the losers. You've a good heart. Sometimes that's enough to see you safe wherever you go, but mostly it's not.
Only dead fish go with the flow. If you are not having fun, you are doing something wrong.
I scream for everything that has gone wrong. I scream for everything broken in our lives.
In a time of deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act.
When you are present in gratitude, you can't be anywhere else. Shallow men believe in luck or in circumstance. Strong men believe in cause and effect. We are what we pretend to be, so we must be careful about what we pretend to be. Every great cause begins as a movement, becomes a business, and eventually degenerates into a racket. Be selfish with your time. A lot of people don't deserve it. Some people avoid thinking deeply in public only because they are afraid of coming across as suicidal.
Stay in the center and you will be ready to move in any direction.
If we encounter a man of rare intellect, we should ask him what books he reads. The fool doth think he is wise, but the wise man knows himself to be a fool.
If you are neutral in situations of injustice, you have chosen the side of the oppressor. There's nothing you can't do if you want it bad enough.
Now and then it's good to pause in our pursuit of happiness and just be happy. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you cannot. If you don't care for obscenity, you don't care for the truth. If you don't care for the truth, watch how you vote. If time is precious, no book that will not improve by repeated readings deserves to be read at all.
Do not use life to give life to death. Do not use death to bring death to life. People ought to fight to keep their law as to defend the city's walls. There is little success where there is little laughter.
The peak efficiency of knowledge and strategy is to make conflict unnecessary.
Life doesn't require ideals. It requires standards of action.
The biggest mistake we could ever make in our lives is to think we work for anybody but ourselves.
Judging is the cause that creates the effect of choosing. Everything is hard before it is easy.
Don't get burned twice by the same flame.
Correct your mistake as soon as you have found it.
You're always with yourself, so you might as well enjoy the company.
Science without religion is lame. Religion without science is blind.
The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts.
For them to perceive the advantage of defeating the enemy, they must also have their rewards. A battering ram can knock down a city wall, but it cannot stop a hole. Different things have different uses.
If your absence doesn't affect them, your presence never mattered.
It shocks me how I wish for what is lost and cannot come back.
It is said that your life flashes before your eyes just before you die. That is true. Called life. Divide your success in small pieces. Easy to manage failure, easy to achieve success. Remember, success is a journey, not a destination. Have faith in your ability. You will do just fine. You go out and do the best you can and hope it works. You just try to improve. Making mistakes is better than faking perfections. I'm not into this whole move with the times thing. I reckon we should just decide on a year and stick with it. This is how the entire course of a life can be changed. By doing nothing. If you believe in destiny and its special magic, do not ever feel that the pain you carry is going to become real.
Everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler.
No life is a waste, the blue man said. The only time we waste is the time we spend thinking we're alone.
Be brave to stand for what you believe in, even if you stand alone.
Before you can successfully make friends with others, first you have to become your own friend. Time strides so uneven, some days endless, and others like the blink of an eye. Don't be afraid of your fears. They're not there to scare you. They're there to let you know something is worth it.
Time is heavy sometimes. Imagine how heavy eternity must be.
Success is something you experience when you act accordingly. Success is not something you have, it's something you do.
Remove the clowns from your life before you become one.
Be noble like the sun. Let even those who resent you for shinning benefit from your warmth.
What the ancients called a clever fighter is one who not only wins, but excels in winning with ease.
I think it's important to hold a mirror up to society and yourself. Sometimes the things that break your heart end up fixing your vision. Stop thinking of yourself as a victim. You are a target that is now no longer being hit. Compromise brings harmony to both, happiness to none. Sometimes what seems like a destination is actually a bridge to a new chapter. People are not lazy. They simply have impotent goals. That is, goals that do not inspire them. There are no environments where you're only going to win, because life just isn't like that. Sometimes the right thing feels all wrong until it is over and done with.
Remember to be kind with your words, especially to yourself.
Be faithful to that which exists within yourself.
You like me not because I like you. I like you just because I like me.
The fact that you aren't where you want to be should be enough motivation.
When you are identified with the One, all things will be complete to you.
Your greatest self has been waiting your whole life. Don't make it wait any longer. When something is important enough, you do it even if the odds are not in your favor. There is your truth and there is my truth. As for the universal truth, it does not exist.
Transmit the established facts. Do not transmit words of exaggeration. If you do that, you will probably come out all right.
We are at our most powerful the moment. We no longer need to be powerful. Thank people who help you because they make you happy. Thank people who don't help you because they make you strong. Life isn't about escaping the darkness. It's all about experiencing both the day and night. I speak my own sins. I cannot judge another. I have no tongue for it. The secret of success in life is for a man to be ready for his opportunity when it comes.
Look deep into nature, and then you will understand everything better.
We are seeds as well as parasites to the earth. We can either give or take, depending on our perception of growth. A breeze, a forgotten summer, a smile, all can fit into a storefront window. If beautiful lilies bloom in ugly waters, you too can blossom in ugly situations. Man keeps looking for a truth that fits his reality. Given our reality, the truth doesn't fit. If there is any truth in the world, it lies when I'm with you. To be prepared against surprise is to be trained. To be prepared for surprise is to be educated. Everyone's time is limited. What matters most is to focus on what matters most.
In order to be yourself, you must first know who you are.
3 things cannot hide for long: the moon, the sun, and the truth. Upon my word, I think the truth is the hardest missile one can be pelted. You don't get to choose not to pay a price. You only get to choose which price you pay.
Just be real. It saves everyone's time.
To exist is to change is to mature is to go on creating oneself endlessly. Dreams are what keep us growing. They are what keep us alive. To give up is to let our dreams die. He who speaks without modesty will find it difficult to make his words good.